Hello everyone, Shinto Bean here playing yet another Warhammer 40k game. This one has been out for a few years. It's a real-time strategy game. You build a base, you build an army, you try to destroy the enemy. And this is Dawn of War 3, which many people familiar with the series would probably say is the weakest entry of the whole series. I never actually got into the original Dawn of Wars when they first came out. I was more of a StarCraft player myself, but it wasn't until actually 2 years ago that I finally started playing Dawn of War, and I started with this one actually, Dawn of War 3, because I finally got a computer that was capable of running it. But then, yeah, I read the reviews and realized that I guess it was really just not very popular, so I went back and played the first two Dawn of Wars a little bit. Not enough to actually really get good at any of them. But Dawn of War, I was really impressed with the first one, just because of the sheer amount of stuff they managed to put in there, like the number of units and the number of upgrades and stuff. It's pretty steep learning curve, and the AI is pretty brutal, not very forgiving. So definitely a difficult game, I think, to master. With Dawn of War 3, I think they tried to simplify a lot of things and make it a little bit easier for people people who weren't familiar with the game to get into it. But a lot of those changes ended up just not going over too well with fans of the series, and of course the game was a pretty major flop. So in this video I'd like to talk a little bit just about my personal thoughts about this game, Dawn of War 3 in particular, and just sort of the good and the bad from what I've observed myself, being kind of a newer player in the series. And by the way, I don't actually play it that much anymore, but I just happened to play a game the other day, and yeah, I'm playing Space Marines against Orcs here. Now, let's talk about the visuals first. So as you can see here, there's a little bit of action going on. We got a venerable ironclad dreadnought, I think that is, launching a barrage of rockets. So yeah, a lot of the visuals do look pretty good. I think like the special abilities and stuff, the attack animations look quite good. The one biggest issue I had with this game is sort of the fact that you can't actually really see. It's hard to tell what's going on because this map is really dark, and the units, depending on their coloration, but the units kind of blend in with the surrounding terrain, and you can't actually zoom in very far. Not nearly as much as you could in previous Dawn of War games, where you can zoom all the way up, so you can, like, one little infantry guy is filling up the whole screen. In this game, you can't even zoom far enough to see, like, their facial features at all. So that was kind of a bit of a waste, I feel like. The attacks and all look good, but then, you know, when there's a big battle going on, it's kind of hard to tell what is actually happening. I think the thing I like most about this game is actually in terms of the visuals, are the building animations. What you saw at the beginning there. The buildings, especially for the Space Marines and the Orcs, they did a fantastic job on those. Like for the Space Marines, when you construct a new unit at one of your buildings, you can see like the drop pod come in and attach itself to the building, and it just looks really cool. And the attack animations again look pretty nice. I love the little bullets like ricocheting everywhere. You got like things leave, craters and stuff, and vehicles when they blow up, and buildings. Those actually look quite good. As for infantry getting killed, you can't. I mean, they're so small you can barely even see them at all. I think part of the reason they made these infantry units so small is that there are pretty big units in the game. Like they got the big Imperial Knights and stuff, which by comparison make, the infantry look puny. And but yeah, I mean, again, it is kind of hard to see what's going on, and I think it would be better if you would at least have the option to zoom in closer to appreciate the details on the models. As for the gameplay, here we're playing a mode where it was actually kind of based off of MOBAs, I think. And that also was not very popular with, I think, fans of the series. In this mode, you are trying to destroy the enemy core, which is protected by 2 turrets, one of which just destroyed there. The turrets, though, are protected by shield generators, so you have to destroy them in that order. I don't think it's that bad to have a new game mode like that, but they do still have like the classic, just annihilation, destroy all of the enemy forces. Now those modes still exist, but yeah, it is kind of weird to know that there's a mode that was just taken straight from another genre in the game. Here we got one of the super weapons going off, some giant orbital laser thing, which is pretty crazy. I didn't actually use it very well here, but yeah, there's some pretty crazy stuff you can do in this game, the super weapons and stuff. They did sort of simplify things again, so the number of units available to construct is actually not all that many. Yeah, but you do also have elites that you can summon, which I think we will see a little bit later. Here we've got some of the tanks actually rolling out finally. And yeah, those are pretty fun. The voice acting, the audio is pretty good. Like the voice acting is above average, I'd say. And most of the other sound effects are nice. What else? It is just an RTS game, so you're fighting over these resource points. And when you capture them, they start generating resources, which you can then use to purchase more units and stuff. There are like 3 different types of resources in this game, and I found it kind of confusing as to like what is the optimum order in which to purchase those resource upgrades, because you upgrade them then at each individual resource point. So didn't really actually figure out how those work exactly. I just clicked on just upgrades at random and hoped that it was kind of the right one. But yeah, the other kind of major downside about Dawn of War 3 is that the game only had 3 factions to start off with, and they were intending to release more. I think they even had a preview of like the Necrons, but again, the game just flopped so badly that they never were able to release any additional material, any expansions or anything, so the game just sort of died, which is a shame, because I think Necrons would have been pretty cool. I mean, the stuff that they have here, I mean, it looks pretty nice, I'd say. Here we're about to see an Imperial Knight get summoned to the field alongside another Ironclad Dreadnought. So you can see there, it's a pretty massive unit, and it's got several special abilities, which are kind of hard to use, honestly, but yeah, the 3 factions that they had in this game: Space Marines, Orcs, and the Eldar. And they all have pretty different playstyles. Their units are quite different, so a fair bit of variety there, but again, when you've got like 8 main factions in the 40k universe, 3 feels very stingy, especially when you're paying like full price for a game. And it just would have been so much better if they had more content there. Another downside about Dawn of War 3 was the campaign, which was kind of weirdly done, in which you don't actually focus on a single faction. You're playing as all 3 factions at the same time. It's like you just rotate between them with each mission. So it just felt really weird. Playing as Space Marines, and then the next mission you're playing as Orcs, and then you're playing as Eldar. It's just like, what's going on? But yeah, I mean, if you're just in for some casual fun, which was mainly my main reason for buying this game, I just wanted to build an army of guys and watch them duke it out with other people. And in that respect, it's pretty fun. I never even played against other players. I was just playing against the AI. I mean, is this not beautiful to watch? Just all this stuff blowing up. I mean, especially compared to a lot of the other 40k games that are coming out on mobile these days. This looks pretty good. These whirlwinds in particular are a lot of fun. Love that barrage animation there. So here we're finally about to finish the game, destroying that core and achieving victory for the Space Marine. But let me know if you ever played the Dawn of War series, which one was your favorite, and if you played Dawn of War 3, what were your thoughts about it? What do you think were the main reasons that it was so poorly received? Again, I'm no expert on it, but this is just from the viewpoint of someone who's relatively new to the series. But yeah, that is it for this one. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.
But was made by you.